After more than 4 decades of steady progress, some might feel like resting on their laurels. But PETA will never stop fighting for animals, and 2022 proved just how effective and innovative we can be, taking advantage of new technologies, reaching new audiences, and achieving even more victories in our fight to end speciesism around the world.
All life has value, and it's not our place to choose which life is more valuable than another.
We unveiled a new form of augmented reality that shows taxpayers how their money funds experiments on animals. And our newest virtual reality experience gave students an in-person perspective on being subjected to experimentation against their will. We also worked with decision makers at the highest levels to stop animal testing in its tracks in places such as Virginia, where our undercover investigation into a company that was breeding and selling beagles revealed heartbreaking abuse from the moment these dogs were born. Their lives consisted of nothing but suffering, confined to barren cages, subjected to deafening noise and high-pressure hoses, and finally shipped off to laboratories to be used in unspeakable experiments. Our exposé compelled lawmakers to pass landmark legislation unanimously to protect animals who are bred and sold for experiments in the state. More than 4,000 dogs were spared further suffering in a historic operation to remove them from the shuttered facility and put them up for adoption so that they could have the opportunity to feel love and kindness and even grass beneath their feet for the first time. And we didn't stop there. We worked with government agencies to help them end their testing requirements, pushed lawmakers on Capitol Hill to end all testing requirements, and persuaded Texas A&M to release the remaining healthy dogs from its failed canine muscular dystrophy lab. PETA campaigned for years to get Air France to stop shipping primates to laboratories.
Tens of thousands of these monkeys are shipped every year. It's time to shut down this cruel industry.
The airline agreed, joining Egypt Air, Kenya Airways, and more than 100 other companies that have made the same promise. There are countless methods of conducting experiments that provide superior results without harming animals. And we won't stop pushing until animal experimentation is finally left in the past, where it belongs. In addition to prompting companies to keep animals out of labs, we saw further gains in keeping animals from being tortured and killed for clothing. Yes, thanks to PETA, fur is officially dead. But of course, we didn't stop there. We compelled companies like Armani and Dolce & Gabbana to pull Angora off their shelves, Burberry and Moda Operandi to ban exotic skins, and Overstock.com and other companies to stop selling brushes that contain badger hair, while our provocative campaigns kept the public eye on all of the problems inherent in using animals for clothing. This year, we took our protests to a whole new level, with shocking new visuals and even the sound of our Hell on Wheels guerrilla marketing campaign to wake the public up to the horrific suffering endured by animals used for meat, eggs, and milk.
Actor James Cromwell superglued himself to the counter of a Starbucks to protest the chain charging more for plant-based milks.
I thought some of the signs of the protests were pretty good. Milk, lemonade, around the corner, injustice is made.
And to make the vegan transition as easy as possible, we brought our food justice campaign to food deserts in cities across the country, helping more and more people reap the rewards of going vegan for themselves, the planet, and animals. We were busy influencing viewers online too, redefining what it means to go viral with our scroll-stopping videos and post after post that grabbed headlines and provoked conversation.
SeaWorld, we literally shouldn't exist. There was a documentary and everything.
We got the gaming world buzzing about ways to make their entertainment friendlier to animals, and how much animals used for entertainment suffer needlessly in real life. More and more companies got our message. Events that involved animals were stopped. Roadside zoos were forced to close their doors. The Iditarod lost even more of its sponsors, and horse riding was removed from the Olympic modern pentathlon. In fact, our efforts helped achieve a ban on the slaughter of New York racehorses, an end to public encounters with bear and big cat cubs in Indiana, and citations or criminal charges for some of the most notorious animal abusers in the country. We also continued working to expose animal abuse around the world, conducting undercover investigations and coordinating with whistleblowers to alert humans to the pain and anguish that results when our fellow beings are used as commodities. But beyond exposing abuse, we achieved real-world consequences for the abusers. Our investigation into the stone crab industry resulted in multiple cruelty to animals charges, and the USDA doled out multiple citations after our exotic livestock auction investigation uncovered a cesspool of cruelty in North Carolina. Millions of viewers were horrified by our look inside the world of underground quarter horse racing, in which horses were injected with drugs like meth and cocaine, whipped, and electroshocked, leading to the cancellation of races and to scrambling by other tracks to impose new rules. When we documented that bear cubs were being traumatized at Yellowstone Bear World, numerous companies removed the roadside zoo from their websites, and some of the country's largest supermarkets suspended ties with a duck farm that claimed to be raising animals humanely after our expose showed once again that humane labeling is never accurate. We also saw progress emerge from previous campaigns. Walmart, Publix, and other companies dropped coconut milk obtained through forced monkey labor. A historic 141 cruelty charges were filed against the farm workers we documented abusing turkeys, and the chinchilla breeder whose cruel practices were brought to light by PETA in 2020 confirmed that he's no longer raising or selling animals. Last year, we investigated a kennel in Michigan where Jack Russell Terriers and their puppies were confined to small, barren kennels, 24/7, with little protection from the bitter cold and snow. They were mutilated without pain relief, bred repeatedly so that their babies could be taken away from them, and forced to endure extreme psychological suffering caused by intensive confinement and deprivation. We had to fight for them. After 4 days of sit-ins at the local sheriff's office and multiple activist arrests, felony cruelty to animals charges were filed against the owner, and humane agencies were finally able to rescue 39 of the dogs, including Ruth and Rosie, who are now learning what it feels like to be loved and cared for, and to enjoy the lives that they always deserved. And those were just two of the thousands of animals whose lives were improved thanks to PETA and our dedicated team of field workers, who did everything from delivering bales of straw to dogs left outside in the cold, to conducting spay and neuter clinics in the sweltering heat of Cancun. In total, we helped spay and neuter more than 18,000 animals. We delivered more than 160 sturdy dog houses, and we gave more than 800 animals the chance to enjoy a better life, including dogs like the Birdie 5 and other companion animals, as well as foxes, bears, tortoises, reptiles, big cats, and countless other species.
Tonka will live the rest of his life in safety and peace.
2022 was an amazing year, filled with even more victories than any previous year, but until speciesism itself is a thing of the past, we will keep fighting, pushing, and innovating in 2023 and beyond.